everybody. Do you notice anything different? Well, if you could see outside, you'd see that Gigi is dragging her booty almost on the ground because I'm in a little tiny car. I had an accident the other day. My garage hit me. Okay, if I'm gonna be truthful, let me say I was backing out of my garage, and that big old car in that little tiny garage kind of got me crooked, and the side thing that's between the two doors of the garage, just there it was, and it tore off my mirror, my outside mirror, and broke part of the bumper. So PJ, which is what I call my Purim Jubilee car, has got to go to the shop, have a new mirror and a new bumper. And my insurance only gave me a tiny amount of money per day for a rental car, and they put me in this car. Look, I have this much room between my head and the top, and I am literally folded up like a pretzel in here. It's a pretty car, and it gets real good gas mileage. In fact, Mrs. B has the same car. But if you have ever seen Gigi and Mrs. B standing side by side, you know that she fits in that little baby car. Gigi, not so much. Anyway, I'm on my way to school, and it's a soupy day. And when I get back, I'm going to try and get the YouTube up for this week because we've got some exciting information from Dr. Baugh and a friend of his, Dr. Billy, who is a geologist, a doctor of geology. So you stay tuned. We will be right back for more stuff on dinosaurs. Hi, welcome to Gigi's Place. I'm so glad you came. Come on in. Let's have some fun.
As the fluid releases, the mountains start to sink and valleys start to form and hills and stuff like this is just literally shot up, all by hydraulics. If the Indians were here, and many of them were, they had earthquakes. They didn't measure because they didn't have the Richter scale. But can you imagine you were on a plane one day and the next day, this is a huge mountain right there. Wow. And you felt it and you were hunting 40 miles away. Or how about you were on the Arizona plateau and you were 100 miles away and you heard the ground shake and rumble for about 2 weeks. Then it just stopped. You got up and anybody would have said, let's go see what happened. And they walk up and they're standing on the rim of the Grand Canyon going, holy cow, what created this? Well, if you understand hydraulic dynamics, you understand how all this came about. Because it settled and settled and settled because what happened? It stopped moving, it started cooling. And then because pressure has to be released, that fluid that is all lava, liquid rock, because it grind on it and it just turns that the moho discoviscus and the mantle rubbing against each other create a lot of volcano, a lot of pressure, a lot of gas pressure. This land and all these mountains and up and down, if you look at a map of the world, all the major mountain ranges are where the continents pulled apart and then stopped. If you see mountains where they stopped, that's called the reflex or the bump back. Like when a train wrecks, the last two cars derail, but there'll be cars in the middle that didn't. That's the bump effect. And you got the mountains shoved up, then they cooled, days of Pele, they started separating, and then they just slammed into each other and rose and fell, and the bodies, the bones came screaming up. That's why you have sea creatures. That's why on any tall mountains like the Mount Everest, you can find sea creatures up there. Because it was down here.
Thousands of feet under the
thousands
earth,
of feet.
My grandfather has brought fossils from the oil industry, which is important to us.
Sure.
From thousands of feet below.
There's a big vacuum within our souls, and only God can fill it. And God is available, but only one way. The Scripture gives absolute truth. And if we throw aside the Scripture, we have no absolute truth. So our moorings are on shifting sand.
Even Jesus is called the last Adam. So that means if we don't believe in the first Adam, we have real issues and real problems. So talk about Jesus.
Oh yes, that's what I want to do. He created these dinosaurs. All things were created by Him, and without Him was not anything made that was made.
These amazing, magnificent creatures that we're finding the bones, but imagine them walking around and Jesus just speaking these creatures into existence. It's incredible.
Hey kids, kids, I'm here at the dinosaur dig. Behind me, I'll show you, are some rib bones and maybe a pelvic bone as well. From the size of things and based on what they have found here before, they think this could be a Brachiosaurus. They have to take it to the lab to find out for sure. So I'm going to turn the camera around so that you can see what this looks like.
Smaller neck.
It's still going over there.
Yeah, that's the thing. It seems a little bit long for a transverse process. So, be interesting to see what it is.
So when you
Hope you enjoyed that.
cut it.
To show you and first I'm gonna show you this one. It's kind of cool and smooth and other things like that, but it's been in a dinosaur's tummy.
This is the gastrolith, and Gabri says it's really smooth.
And this one, it's kind of pretty.
Sure is. Can you show them the pretty part?
And it's kind of smooth.
Yeah, smooth right there, isn't it? Yeah.
It feels really good. So I have a rock here. We actually got to feel real lava.
Yeah. Can you show them the black part on there?
This?
Uh-huh. You want to do the close-up?
So this is lava.
Yeah.
You can go out.
Thanks.
And okay, going to the next room.
All right, this one's your leverite.
This one is orange and black, and I don't know what the black part is. It's either lava or obsidian or something.
Obsidian is black. You guys are so smart.
It could be obsidian or melted lava. It does have a really good chance of being obsidian because a dinosaur could have died in the water by lava.
That's what happened with this one, the brachia. And this one you're holding, you know what's crazy about that one, Tim? The brown part inside could actually have been tree, and the black part on the outside could have been bark. Because after so many years, the tree and the bark turns hard like this. Only that one might have gotten buried in a different spot.
Is this a tree?
It could have been. Now we'll have to ask a scientist. So you've got a mystery rock
Where will you find the scientist?
and a brachia. Gigi knows one. Maybe she can show him the video. Is there anything you'd like to say to Gigi before we go?
I missed you.
Aww.
So I have two things that I'm going to show you today.
Okay.
I have the dinosaur bone that was found in a layer of earth called the Moritzen Formation.
Good job, Isabel.
It stretches across 11 states and into Canada. A mineral deposit in this layer turns the bone red. And it's still dirty.
Yeah.
But I like how it's like a little black with also some red and kind of purple. And then I also have this purified wood.
Petrified wood.
Petrified wood. The sample is at least 4,000 years old. Like, look at it.
Yeah, and you noticed the texture. What did you say about the texture?
I said the texture looks I said it feels a lot like wood.
Uh-huh.
Like, if you went out and felled a tree, it probably has bark on it.
Yeah.
But this probably doesn't have bark on it.
Well, it used to. What did that
Yeah.
bark turn into after 4,000 years? What's it feel like?
A rock.
A rock, that's right.
Rock.
It turned into a rock. It's petrified. That means it's hard as a rock.
And these are the two that I'm going to keep. This cool green rock,
Oh, she's got a nice leverite right here. It's the same color as her shirt.
which I don't know where it's from,
Nope. But we've never seen a green rock before, have we, Isabel?
but yeah.
That was super
It's
cool. Well,
mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing. What's your other rock that you decided
And then
to
I
keep?
have this Oklahoma.
That's right. It's the Oklahoma State rock.
Yep.
It's a rose rock. Do you know why they call it a rose rock?
Because we have rose trees or whatever.
Kind of. It's sort of the shape of a rose, sort of, because it's what shape?
Circle.
Yeah.
Or
and
oval.
And it comes out of, God made it like that. Nobody turned it into an oval or a circle. That's the way it came.
Yes. And I'll give you one more look at them before it's somebody else's turn.
Deal. Oklahoma State rock. Rose rock. Dinosaur bone chip. That was a good close-up. Very nice as well. Petrified wood.
Petrified.
I like to say it like that.
Hey.
Good close-up as well.
And the
One
last
sec.
but not least,
That's right, because it's cool.
green rock.
Green rock. We'll have to find out why it's green. Good work.
Hi there. Brr, is it cold in Texas? It's about 30 degrees and, you know, freezing is 32. It's supposed to go down to 20-something tonight. I love cold weather. Woo! I love it. I love wearing my gloves. And look at my fingernails almost match the, look at that. If I just had these two switched, wouldn't that be funny? Anyway, I love wearing my gloves and my scarves and hats and coats. I got on a sweatshirt. I got on my my jean jacket. And I just wanted to tell you that this week's episode has a bunch of stuff. It's got Dr. Baugh teaching some really deep science things. It's got our friend Sarge that's still continuing on how things were pushed and formed and swooshed and everything for the Grand Canyon. And Mrs. B even included a couple of shots of where they were actually digging for the bones and some shots of 3 friends of ours who are having a little lesson with Mrs. B. When she got back, she took her tools and her gloves and her hat and a lot of samples of things. And so the kids are getting a chance to get some hands-on feel of everything and to kind of tell you what they are experiencing. And one thing I wanted to tell you is that Mrs. B keeps saying the word leverite. Have you listened for that? Maybe you can go back and listen again. Leverite. This is a word that Dr. Baugh uses. When you pick up something from the dinosaur dig, it could be a bone, it could be a piece of petrified wood, it could be a gastrolith, or it could be a leverite. Leverite here. In other words, it's just a plain old rock. So it's a funny word and we like to say it. And so you'll hear Mrs. B say leverite. Now, I just want to tell you that we might have one more episode of the Dino Dig before we get back to Dr. Baugh talking about some of the scientific aspects of dinosaurs. And then maybe someday we'll be on another subject. But right now, Gigi's fascination is dinosaurs. And so, as I'm sitting out here in the driveway in this little tiny rental car, I just want to say thanks for watching. We love it when you comment, ask questions. We love it when you subscribe, like us. Just come back next time because we're having fun on Gigi's Place and we hope you do too. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Gigi's Place. Bye.